Tantalus Base Outpost, a Martian research base, is founded in the 2040s. After 6 months of stationing there, the 8-person crew is just 19 hours away from finishing their research mission. The team will be collected by lander from the spacecraft Aurora, which is on its way from Earth. Samples that indicate life on Mars have been discovered by Marko Petrovich, a scientist working there. He comes up with a plot for a final EVA on the surface without disclosing his discoveries. Petrovich is driven by crewmate Richard Harrington to the location of the sample by means of a solar-powered rover. Once Petrovich has obtained soil containing the biological agent, the sinkhole suddenly opens and he falls into it. In order to find Petrovich's body, Captain Charles Brunel and crewmate Lauren Dalby intend to investigate the pit. Dalby stays at the pit, but before the squad can bring back the equipment, he vanishes. Vincent Campbell is given permission by Brunel to examine the pit. He discovers that the crack contains a bacterium. At the main outpost, Dalby and Petrovich make a reappearance, but their encounter with the organism has turned them into wild, fast-moving zombie-like monsters with blackened skin that have lost all traces of their former selves. One of the zombies uses a power drill to kill Harrington, who then comes back to life as one of them. While Brunel and Campbell return, the surviving members of the crew repel the undead. In addition, Brunel sustains a fatal wound and comes back to life, giving the crew fresh information about the symptoms, aggression, thirst, and memory loss. Antibiotics are also found to postpone the infection. Mission psychologist Robert Irwin saves himself after multiple fights and zombie escapes via the habitat modules when he traps scientist Kim Aldrich in the hydroponics lab with one of the zombies. Amidst the chaotic getaway to a rover, Rebecca Lane also sustains a stabbing wound to her leg. The survivors, Campbell, Irwin, and Lane, determine they have to reach the second rover, which is still at the location of the fissure, since their rover's power is running low. Irwin takes the second rover while posing as a scout and is unable to convince Campbell to let up on Lane, who he claims is infected. In the meantime, Irwin hides any indication that he might be infected. Campbell and Lane talk about the nature of the zombies while they wait for the sun to rise and the solar-powered batteries to recharge. Lane wonders if any human awareness is still imprisoned within them. In an attempt to console her, Campbell nods out. Campbell discovers that Lane has run into the desert when he wakes up alone himself, so he goes after her. Even though Lane is aware that she will probably change, she can't stop Campbell from following her. She takes off her helmet in a desperate attempt to end her life. Lane reanimates when she passes away and begs Campbell to destroy her. Reluctantly, Campbell gives in. The reanimated Aldrich murders the lander's crew as Campbell and Irwin independently arrive at the Aurora lander. Petrovich and the other undead seem lifeless and dried out. Irwin, who has contracted the virus, starts the launch, sending Campbell and himself into orbit. After killing Irwin, Campbell shoots his body and virulent blood droplets into space. Campbell notifies Mission Control that he does not have enough fuel for a rendezvous, but that if they wish to conduct a rescue, they have enough supplies on board to endure for months. Having had a drop of Irwin's infected blood on his face, he informs them that it would not be a good idea to do this since he might be infected and have just enough fuel for a quick death if that is the case. Campbell says that he will wait for their response and that it will take 15 minutes for the message to be received. Then he cuts off the conversation, still drifting through space by himself.